Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of The Shooting Show, and welcome to today's program. Friends, we are indeed very proud to be here, and we're so encouraged, and we're also appreciative of our friend Ed Hubble in this block of time. You know, this is the very first broadcast of what will hopefully become a gun-friendly television network, because you know what, friends, every day we are being crucified by major media on television, and the only way, if we have any hope of all of turning around what's been happening in our country, and especially what's been happening to us as gun owners here in the United States, we've got to reach more people on television. And we'll be talking about several things later on in the program today. We have a number of things we want to do on this first broadcast on the Shooting Express Network, the satellite certainly shooting network, and in fact Ed may call it something else before we're through here, but we are very, very hopeful about where this can go, because you know what, friends, we've said for a long time, and this is our 9th year on the air as we're talking about this. We've said for a long time, if in fact we can stay on long enough, we're going to get a break somewhere. And we as gun owners, if we can just stay here and we have the perseverance, you know, this is not something that's going to be defeated or overcome quickly. And that's what the anti-gun people hope. They hope that we as gun owners, we as enthusiasts are going to get tired and we'll quit. And we'll quit resisting and we'll quit fighting. But you know what? We're not. We're not going to quit. Yeah, we get tired like anyone else. But we're not going to give in, because, friends, what is happening in our country with the liberal socialists, unfortunately, in Washington, D.C., and that's a heck of a note to say. But when you start looking at the policies and what the federal government has been doing to us, those of us who really respect independence and personal responsibility, when we look at what the federal government has been doing to us for all these years, and right now we're seeing an example about the United Nations wanting to take over in Kosovo. Yes, I know it's supposed to be a NATO operation, but in reality, it's not. The United Nations has plans to go into Kosovo after whatever the outcome, if they can wire work their way in there. And they want to make Kosovo a United Nations ruled province of who knows what. Now, friends, this is what's happening. You don't get these stories anywhere else on television. And we think it is extremely important that these messages keep coming to you. You know, recently I went to a demonstration, a little exhibition where we got to show our 460 Rowland guns and the cartridges, and certainly showed this gun and the carbine and let people shoot it. A lot of police officers were there from several different areas of the country, and you know, it was such a pleasant experience, because you know what, 98 or 99% of the regular police officers that are here in the United States on the local and state levels are 100% in favor of civilian ownership of firearms. We only run into problems when we get on the national police level, where some of the leaders, such as Janet Reno, some of the others in the higher echelons of the Justice Department and the Clinton regime or administration, it's those folks that want to disarm us. It's not your local police. In most cases, it is flatly not. And we really had just some nice visits. This was a non-media event that I attended, and certainly we were glad to be there, because we wanted to demonstrate our cartridges, not only certainly to the civilians and the military folks that were there, but to show the advantages this cartridge can have for the local police, and for that matter the state police and those special teams of folks out there that really have some sort of nasty situations that they're inserted into. And our gun and cartridges have so many advantages over anything else available that I tell you, it was gratifying to watch these fellows, and certainly some of the ladies were out there shooting too, but to watch them and see the expressions that say, wait a minute, this thing has real power and it is shootable. You know, this cartridge and these gun conversions are helping us to stay on the air. And let me tell you what, friends, if there was ever a time where you were wondering if your support did good or is worthwhile or is doing good, I'll Take a look at us today. We're here on television. There's other programming before us and after our programming that is going to be pro-gun. And you know, that's what we've been saying all this time. With your help, and certainly our sponsors' help, but with you, the viewing audience's help, that's how we've been able to stay here. Selling what we can, our guns, cartridges, this is certainly going to be a huge help a little later on. It's a help now, of course. But hey, we've managed to stay on. And as long as we're on the air and these messages keep going out, you know what? We have a chance. We have a chance to remain free Americans. We have a chance to retain our Second Amendment rights. You know, some of these folks that are so in defense of the First Amendment, like the ACLU, other groups that are so defensive about the First Amendment, why can't they join us in defense of the Second Amendment? Friends, right now, NBC is running a special program today, on an anti-gun program today as we're taping this, which is actually Friday. And it's just one thing after another, more and more and more anti-gun garbage is being forced down the television screens all over America. And if we don't counteract that, if we don't start doing more and getting involved, we're not going to have guns left. You know, there are times, Leroy Scott and I and some of you and some of the other folks around this project have been saying for years now that confiscation was coming. Well, you know, right now Bill Clinton is trying to come up with gun confiscation legislation. And a lot of the hunters out there, a lot of hunters said, well, I don't care about handguns, don't matter. They won't bother my guns. Yes, they will. A lot of the shotgun shooters, a lot of the trap shooters said, well, it doesn't matter about the handguns or the rifles. They won't bother my shotgun. Guess what? Those two young mentally ill children out in Colorado, they had shotguns. That's what the deputy said he was outgunned with. They had shotguns, hunting-type shotguns. And you know, I heard Al Gore make a statement earlier about what he was proposing to do about children misusing firearms, and he said, well, he just thought a trigger lock would be a nice idea. Wait a minute, friends. You have two young men here, young adults actually, that worked on this carnage for over a year. They built over 60 bombs. Are we silly enough to believe that child-proof safety locks on the triggers would have made any difference? You know, they actually had bomb-making parts laying around there in their rooms. They had barrels of shotguns they had sawed off in their room right there. But you see, where were the parents? How can you allow a 16-year-old or so child to have a private entrance to your home so you don't know when he comes and goes, or you don't know anything about them? When you, the parent, are not allowed in those rooms, I tell you what, friends, we had a mess here. Let me read to you briefly some statistics here from, I tell you, we get a little paper called the Minden Press Herald, and there's an old boy that I know locally who is a pretty darn good writer. His name is Vince Vella, and Vince is running over some figures here that I think are just excellent. And listen at this. If you don't think something's going on here, listen at this. Vince is quoting Vince here. In roughly a 45-year period, there has been a 560% increase in violent crime. That's 560% increase, but the population hasn't increased that much. Over 400% increase in illegitimate births. A quadrupling of divorce rates, a tripling of the percentage of children living in single-parent homes, with over a 200% increase in teenage suicide. Now listen to this. In 1940, teachers were asked to identify the top problems in American schools. 1940. They listed talking out of turn, chewing gum, making noise, running in the halls, cutting in line, dress code infractions, and littering. That was 1940, not that terribly long ago. In 1990, they listed drug abuse, alcohol abuse, pregnancy, suicide, rape, robbery, and assault. You know, that just goes to show what has happened. And essentially what we have done is we've given our country over to liberal leadership for the last 45 or so years. Now that's what has happened. And look what these liberal value or so-called value systems, which has turned our society upside down. Look what it's done to us as a society. And we have people who want to disarm us of our freedom because we misbehave. But let me tell you what, friends, the misbehaving, I think, is more on the part of the authorities, the people who control the media, the people who control the government. That's where the misbehaving is. What we need now is sponsors. We need sponsors for this program. We need sponsors for this satellite network. We've got to have some help. And unfortunately, so many hunters, so many target shooters, so many people that use guns for self-defense, so many people have just not understood the need for a truthful gun presence on television. Just hadn't seen it. Well, the handwriting is not only on the wall, friends, it is staring us right in the face. And if we don't do some things now, and I've been saying this for a while, those of you who've been watching our show for a long time, you've heard me say this many times. If we don't get active now and start scoring points, I was very, very disappointed in the National Rifle Association choosing to abandon their Denver meeting. Tell me what the catastrophe that happened in that school in Colorado, what in the world did it have to do with us as gun owners? Nothing at all. You had a terrorist incident that had nothing to do with us as decent citizens or as gun owners, yet the anti-gun people are going to use this as a ploy for more disarmament. What we need, again, is sponsors. We need them for our show. We need them for the other programming here on this network. And we're asking you, if you know someone who could help, if you have a business, if you could help sponsor our programs, if you'd like to join our own Gun Owner Rights Association, you can do that. $50 membership annually, a $300 life membership, because, you know, we figure that if something's not done and done quickly, then we won't have a very long lifespan as gun owners. We may still be alive, but we will not be gun owners. Friends, this fight has got to be done now, and we're asking for your help. We're going to keep on asking because we're not going to quit. I can't do this by myself. Any one or two of us cannot do this by ourselves, but all of us trying, all of us with the ideal of getting back, not just keeping, but getting back more freedom here in this still great America. We can do it. The other side would have us believe that this fight's over and finished, but it's not, because we're here today. Will you please help us? If you can help our program, if you can donate anything to help us stay on the air, you can send to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. If you'd like to call and order one of our kits, one of our guns, in fact, here is the great, this is the new 460 Dan Wesson. And I tell you what, friends, let me see if we can show this. This little cartridge did not get on last week's program, but this is our 460 Rowland with a 300 grain bullet. And you notice it's really a funny looking cartridge because so much of the bullet is sticking out of the case. But let me tell you what, friends, this 300 grain bullet runs over 1,360 feet per second out of this great Dan Wesson revolver. Hey, with the 4-inch, this is the 8-inch barrel we have today. With the 4-inch barrel, it still runs 1,300. And I tell you what, you can't do that with any other normal cartridge. I'm not even sure out of a 4-inch barrel the Casull, I don't know. I don't have a Casull to test in a 4-inch barrel. I don't have a Casull anyway, but it'll be interesting to see just what they do in a 4-inch barrel. But if it will, it's not going to beat it by much. So anyway, it is exciting. Research on our cartridge, of course, is ongoing. Yes, we can ship the Dan Wessons to your local dealer. You can buy them $6.99 right through the program here. Yes, we have the AR-15s. We've had some in that have already been shipped out. We have uppers. Certainly, we have an ongoing number of kits for these great 1911s. We can say the whole gun or just the kit. So, yes, it is exciting. And here we are today. And we're so hopeful that we can keep coming to you and we can increase our pro-gun programming for all of us. You see, if you donate something toward our program, you're not doing it just for me and for you. Oh, no. The donations that you give are for all of us as gun owners everywhere in this United States. It's not just for me. It's not just for the shooting show. But you're doing it for everyone else and for our future as gun owners here in the United States. Friends, I was talking to one of our viewers in Tennessee this morning, and we were talking about the great time we had in Tuscumbia, Alabama, and the other demonstrations that we have had a chance to take part in. And we've hit on something here that, you know, there are a number of good shooting associations out there. IPSC is the USPSA is an exciting shooting discipline. It is more sport than actual self-defense, and I don't have a problem because it teaches gun handling. It certainly keeps the sport going. I'm also a big fan of the IDPA. This is Bill Wilson's brainchild, essentially, with some other folks, that is a more realistic approach to shooting, but something that we can do with our Gun Owner Rights Association, and we're getting requests for this. You know, even the IDPA in some ways is a little advanced for some of the new shooters out there, or people that don't carry or don't shoot on a regular basis. And we're thinking about forming, as part of our Gun Owner Rights Association, a shooting discipline, something that is very basic, very realistic, something you can shoot with whatever kind of gun you have. And there are some things that a number of us may not agree with, and we don't all have to agree. We don't have to agree on what the best procedures are. But we're working on a discipline of GRA shooting, some GRA shooting drills, ways to go about this that will be simple but a lot of fun. You know how you get people to do stuff? You make it fun. And we saw on a number of occasions recently where you set up a target and you give people some instructions and you get that little timer and you put a little excitement into it, and it's the most fun that a lot of you can have in outdoor sports. I'll tell you what, this is something that we are working on, a GRA. That way, see, you can get together with your friends and people that like to shoot guns, and guess what happens when you get together? Suddenly, you're an organization. Suddenly, you have a group that is doing something. You have people that now are more interested. This will be something that, or can be something that can really help us. So we're working on that right now, and let's start having some GRA shoots. We're working on some basic drills, and this will be part of our association. It'll be a way that we can gain members, that we can gain help. And I'm talking you in your local area. See, I can be here on TV, I can show you how much fun it is to shoot, but until you go out and participate, you really won't appreciate what we're doing until you get to go out and do it yourself. So why not have local GRA chapters that shoot and that are fun and that welcome new members and give instruction, and maybe we can get some instructors certified with our own set of rules. And right now, if you have some ideas on this, on some drills you'd like to see, some ideas on practical shooting, and that's what we're talking about, is practical shooting, well, please send them to me here at our address, 327 Irvin Rowland Road. I'd like to get your suggestions, because this is something we're working on now. And then if you want to have a group in your city, where if you may be in Iowa or Montana or Florida or wherever, we can send you some of the basic drills. You get more people to join our GRA, and we can give you procedures and suggested things and a set of rules, which will make it easy to have a local shoot. And you know what? When you get people involved and everybody's friendly and people start coming out and seeing what a great sport it is and how it could help save their lives, guess what? Then you get enthusiastic shooters and enthusiastic gun owners. This can be done, friends. So this is something we're working on now. If you have suggestions, please write them down and send to me, because we're going to draw up a rule book. And I think this is a very important thing, because we've been looking for ways for our GRA to become more effective. And this is one way we can do it. We have a great show for you today. We appreciate you being there with us. All you new viewers out there, people new to this program, we really appreciate you being with us. We're going to show you some neat stuff on today's show. And hopefully, we'll be seeing you on many, many future shows. We sincerely hope so, but we can't do it without your help. Let's get another shooting show underway.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is. This is the great Georgia Arms 45 DA Colt or double action Colt cartridge. This is the first major improvement on the Colt 45 since 1873. They have this in loaded cowboy ammunition. They're also selling brass, so you can load your own combinations. This cartridge case is absolutely a joy to work with. We're even seeing improved accuracy, we think due to the slightly larger rim on our 45 DA Colt case. You can get a free catalog, or you can order these from Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861 for their entire lineup, and please tell them you saw it here on our show. Now friends, of course, the cowboy load is mild but super accurate. And of course, you can take your hand loads up to the limit of what the loading manuals will allow. The great 45 double action Colt cartridge from Georgia Arms. Give them a call today, friends. A free phone call with a free catalog.
And we would like to remind you that Georgia Arms has the best selection of handgun and rifle ammunition available in the United States at certainly the best prices. Yes, they are shipping our 460 Rowlands cartridges. They're up to 2 loads now. The maximum power load with the nostril bullet, and the great defense load, which is even less expensive. So if you have one of our 460 kits, rifles, or revolvers, you can order and receive 460 Rowlands ammo immediately. And friends, you know, with Y2K coming up, nobody knows what Clinton is capable of. Who knows, ammunition may become hard to get at some point. So if I could put some back, I believe I would. Call Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861, and please tell them you saw it here on our show. Now, friends, we've had many people ask us to run the demo we did on the 460 cartridge a few months ago, so you might want to turn your tape machines on if you'd like to explain this to someone. This segment will help you explain just what our 460 Rowlands cartridge is. So here it is again today. And we have something really exciting to show you today. This is one of our new 460 Rowlands guns built on this great Kimber
1911 semi-automatic, and we have a new cartridge we're going to tell you about. You know, a lot of us like the 1911 style guns. They're compact, they're very rugged and just excellent devices, but a lot of us in the past have wished we had more power from a 1911, from the great 45. In fact, wouldn't it be nice if we had the power level of a 44 Magnum revolver in the slim and relatively lightweight package of this great 1911? Wouldn't that be nice? Well, guess what, friends? We have done it. We have a new cartridge. It's called the 460 Rowland, and I developed this cartridge in association with Clark Custom Guns of Princeton, Louisiana. And I tell you what, nobody knows more about 1911s than Jim Clark, and certainly his great family, Jim Jr., K. Clark Michalik, and of course Jerry Michalik. And we also had some help from a number of trusted advisors from around the country. Our friends at Georgia Arms, Accurate Arms Powders, Sierra Bullets, Starline Brass. A lot of people helped. Richard Benkoski with the Kimber Custom Shop, and we appreciate everyone who helped. We even had a little backdoor factory help from some folks that would rather go unnamed, from a couple of the major gun companies, but we appreciate everyone that helped. But yes, in fact, here we have it. And better than that, let me show you, just give you an indication of what our 460 Rowland will do. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take a 45 ACP, which has been a great cartridge for all these years. A lot of people think it's one of the very best defensive cartridges. So let's see our 230 grain 45 ACP on the water bottle here on your left. Let's take a look at it. Okay, well, that's certainly as good as a 45 ACP is going to do. Now let's take our 460. Get my hearing protection in a little better. We always shoot with eye protection and ear protection. And let's observe the same style target here over on our right. A little different, wouldn't you say? We have two more. So obviously we have a much greater power level than with the 45 ACP. But we're not through yet. Let's do a little bowling with our 460 Rowland. Wouldn't you call that a strike? Now friends, to show you the difference in our 460 Rowland and the 45 ACP, you'll notice that the two loaded rounds are almost of the same. In fact, they are the same length overall, but you'll notice our 460 Rowland here on your right has a longer case, and this is to prevent it from chambering in an unmodified 45 ACP. Our bullet diameter is the same as the 45, uses the same components, same loading dies, same loading machines, but the dies have to be adjusted, and this is for safety reasons, because we're using, on our 460 Rowland, we're using a much stronger case design than the 45 ACP was ever designed to be, and we don't want anyone to attempt to insert our 460 Rowland in a 45. So we're calling it the 460, even though it is a true 451 diameter, with all the bullet styles and weights that are out there that are in use for the 45 ACP. This is the difference. I'll show you something else. Here are a couple of empty cases. You can see it a little better. Here is our 460 Rowland case here, and a standard 45. And you see, it's about a 1/16 of an inch longer to give it that safety edge of not being able to be chambered in a 45 gun that has not been properly modified. Now friends, we have a number of different bullet styles available, going from left to right. The 230 grain full metal jacket running at about 1,340 or so feet per second, next to the 230 grain jacketed hollow point using the excellent Hornady bullet. Here we have a 200 grain jacketed hollow point running at about 1,450 feet per second. And then we have the defense load, which is a milder recoiling 185 grain nostril bullet running at 1,350 feet per second, but realize that's still 750 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, and it kicks like a .357 or a hot 9mm. And on the right we have our super high performance round, the 185 grain nostril bullet running at over 1,550 feet per second. A tremendous performer. We have something across the board for whatever performance you may need in a handgun. Our 460 Rowland will just about do it. And we'll remind you that you can use the very same 45 ACP loading dies and the same 45 ACP magazines. All you have to change with the kit, our drop-in kit available from us here at the program in Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, you just change out the barrel and the spring with the drop-in kit, and all your other accessories and loading gear and holsters are the same. This is our original test gun. This is one of the great Kimbers converted to the 460 Rowland, and you'll notice it has a compensator on the end of the barrel. This is one of the great Clark compensators, and this attachment is what helps the gun to keep from having premature wear. It also greatly reduces muzzle jump and recoil. This is an essential part of the kit that we're using on this new 460 gun. Now friends, what our 460 Rowland does, it essentially gives 44 Magnum class power to the 1911 style guns, and you also don't get the 44 Magnum class recoil. You get the power without the terrific recoil and muzzle blast of the 44 Magnum. And of course it shoots just as well in the revolvers as it does in the semi-automatic. We have all these available. And of course on the revolvers we can rechamber the 45 ACP cylinders on the Ruger Blackhawk so you can shoot our 460. And of course on the 625 Smith & Wessons, loads with full moon clips, just load it right up there, and you have 44 Magnum class power without the with all the muzzle blast and recoil. Yeah, they do have some kick, but let's show you something right now. We have a target bar here from the good folks that make the targets we use on the program, some of the cutouts there, and they have a little target frame here, has a sliding top. And I'll show you something. Let's take our full charge 460 here, our 1911, and we're going to place it about an inch or so, maybe about an inch underneath the bar. And let's see if it hits that bar. You watch it. Now this load we're shooting full charge over 900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Let's see how much recoil it has. My hearing protectors in, yes, they are loud. Now watch, just about so much right here. Let's take a look at it. Now see friends, it never touched. And we're about, I guess an inch and a half underneath our full charge 460. All right, let's take a 4-inch 44 Magnum, same difference here, and let's see what happens. Watch the bar, same difference. Now you can see the dramatic difference there, friends, and really that's one of the things I had in mind, was to make a super powerful cartridge for the 1911 that would be much easier to shoot than a 4-inch 44 Magnum. In fact, this particular load has more power out of this 1911 because it's more efficient than the 44 full charge load we were actually using in this gun. So regardless of whether you want a gun to go hunting with or a gun that certainly can be used for home defense, that's another problem that the 44 Magnum has. There aren't a lot of loads. You've got to go way down to get a load that was suitable for home defense or personal defense, whereas we've got a load specifically made for defensive purposes. Certainly the 44 is a great cartridge, but our new cartridge does some pretty spectacular things that simply has not been available. You know, it's just, the 44 Magnum is just pretty brutal in a 4-inch barrel, whereas you can take our 625 conversion here, same power level, and it's just a bunch easier to control, whether in the single action Blackhawk. Get a couple of loads here. It's just, yeah, they still have some recoil, but it's not nearly as severe as we might think.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. And we want to mention the good folks at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, one of the most complete gun shops in the entire United States. They do all sorts of things like this specialty meltdown on this new STI gun. Also, they have an excellent staff of people to help you with guns such as these Benelli Super Black Eagles, taking 3.5-inch magnums, a complete line of handguns, semi-automatics, revolvers, all sorts of neat things in the shop there. And of course, here's Mr. Jim Clark himself out helping a customer, some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. They have a complete line of loading supplies, loading tools, gunpowder, you name it, primers, all sorts of accessories for your guns, whatever you might need, certainly within reason. Here's Kay Clark Michalik when she's not winning championships, back working there in the office. And here's her husband, Jerry Michalik, the fastest revolver shooter in the world, when he's not winning championships at work. Here's Jim Clark Jr. back on the lathe, the same drill, when he's not winning championships, working right there in the shop. That's why you can get such complete quality of product and expertise here at Clark Custom Guns. Friends, give them a call today, area 318-949-9884. They have a great catalog. We appreciate them supporting our project. Okay, let's ease up and check our numbers on the chronograph. And actually, that's a little hotter than what what we had in mind, tell you the truth. But like I said, 1530 is our goal there, roughly about 1450 with the 200 grain bullet and about 1325 with the 230. So yes, some of them are going to run a little hotter, but we want it to be in that performance ballpark that we feel is so important. We had another one. Let's see. We had a couple more in there. Let's see how fast this next one runs. And there's nothing out there. I'm just going to shoot at that bottle out there. It's just going to put a hole in it. Okay, let's check our velocity again.
My goodness, well, I tell you, it's running a little hotter today than certainly than we had planned, but I tell you what, friends, that's about 1,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy from a 1911, and you saw, you know, it really didn't kick that bad. Not, my goodness, not what we'd expect from 1,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Now let's say we want penetration. Maybe we want to stop that bear that may be chasing us on the lake up there or the river in Alaska. Maybe we need penetration. So let's take a landscape timber, very tough, treated lumber, several inches thick, and let's lean it up against this water bottle right here. Get it where it'll stay. And let's shoot the landscape timber and see what happens. Got one of our full metal jacket loads here. All right, let's take a look, friends. Clear through the landscape timber, in and out, all the way through, in and definitely out on the water bottle. So see, we have tremendous penetration if we so desire. Now then, let's try another block with our deer hunting load, which will probably be the 200 grain bullet at about 1400 or so, 1440. See how the block fares with it. Now we're looking at our original test gun. Friends, this is a gun that has really been through the well-known mill. This is our original Kimber with the very first Clark Custom Guns barrel and compensator that we put together. This gun has had literally thousands of rounds put through it, and many of which were well beyond the pressure levels, certainly as experimental loads, that we will be selling. Anyway, let's see how this old veteran will do today. We have, I think, 7 of our defense loads in here, and let's just see it on target. Let's see what it'll do. All right, we're empty now. Let's go up and take a look at our target. I'll tell you what, friends, that's 7 shots in one hole. Even offhand shooting like this, of course, we're out at a few yards out here, and I'll tell you what, it just goes to show the accuracy level that these great 460 kits from Clark Custom Guns are capable of. Like I said, this one has really been through the mill, and as you can obviously see, of course, sighting through the camera here, I'm doing the best I can as your shooter, but you see what the gun is still capable of.
And here we have some fantastic news. This is the drop-in kit from Clark Custom Guns that will convert someone's 1911 to our new 460 Rowland cartridge. This is a tremendous value. It will give someone who already has a 45 caliber 1911 another gun in one, 2 guns in one actually, only $275 retail from Clark Custom Guns. For more information on our 460 Rowland guns and cartridge, you can give Clark Custom Guns a call. They're at 336 Shootout Lane in Princeton, Louisiana. The zip code is 71067. Also, you can give them a call at area 318-949-9884. Or you can contact us here at the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Beverly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Our phone number 318-377-5189.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
If you'd like to have one of our Shooting Show Kimbers, be it compact or the full-size model, or if you just want the best 1911 that money can buy at a very good price, the best factory production 1911 semi-automatic pistol ever built by any factory, give us a call here at the program, 318-377-5189, or you can write to us, send an FFL, we can wholesale these guns. Send an FFL to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Beverly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024.
Okay, I'll try.
Step on the studio. Take 44.
You ready?
Johnny, get it right this time.
I'll certainly try. I'm going to try, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, let's try and do it.
Once upon a time, men were free, could follow their dreams in liberty. But now there's a darkness that hides what we used to see, and we ask ourselves, just what do we truly believe? Oh, America, where have you gone? Oh, America, what have you become? Once we had a voice free to sing. Once we could say, let freedom ring. But now greed and power grip us all, and the liars and the cheaters have set us up for a ball. Oh, America, where have you gone? Oh, America, what have you become? In faith we celebrated all things good, and if we were free, most still would. But the tyrant's hot breath chills us all. Forgotten country, won't you please hear our call? Oh, America, where have you gone? Oh, America, what have you become? Where have you gone? Oh, America, what have you become?
Now, friends, we wanted to play our video again. We've had so many requests, and Ed told me earlier that he plans to use that maybe as a theme song for the network. And the bad news is it's true. America, where have you gone? America, what in fact have you become? So again, thank you so much for all your requests for that. Hey, it's fun to do, and we had a great time doing it. At some point, we might even have a director's cut of outtakes, because there was some pretty humorous things happened during making that little video. Anyway, we are so appreciative of Ed's efforts in the the beginning of the network. We hope so, friends. It has got to be done. And in the past couple of months, we've had so many people asking for more information about the cartridge, and we wanted to get that on today's program, especially this first show, because we're going to have people watching this one that have not seen shooting shows over these past 9 years. And trust me on this one, friends, we are glad to have you folks with us. When we shot the video on the cartridge, we did not have a production Dan Wesson, and I want to remind you that these guns are available. And the thing is, you buy one Dan Wesson, and they retail for $6.99 each. What we have to do is we have to get an FFL from your dealer, and you can pay us direct, but we have to send it to your dealer, and they're $6.99 for one barrel length. But there again, you can order other barrels, other different lengths, all the way. We're probably going to have a 2.5 or 3 inch for this particular gun, all the way out to 10 inches or so, maybe longer, for these great Dan Wessons, and there's no paperwork involved. And speaking of paperwork, friends, the Clinton administration is planning to do away with gun shows. I had a reporter call earlier today from up in Philadelphia wanting some information from me on what we think about gun shows. And, you know, we've had gun shows all these years. We had less crime when we had less or fewer firearms laws. You know, crime was just not a problem. But then in times in the past, we had real parents too, didn't we? We had people that watched after their children and weren't so self-absorbed as to not raise their own family. And friends, until we get a grip on our society and get a grip on these politicians, we're going to head down the socialist highway. And unfortunately, that is the direction we're headed. We've got to do something about it. If you can help us stay on the air, friends, if you can contribute, if you can join our Gun Owner Rights Association. You know, I'm really excited about the prospect of more local chapters forming and having local shoots. We certainly want to arrange the rules where it'll be good for revolvers, where revolvers can shoot against other revolvers, and similar to the IDPA in that respect. And then if you want to come with your semi-automatic, certainly we'll have another classification to shoot semi-automatics against other semi-automatics of similar capacity and design. So I think there are some real things, and I'll remind you again, if you have some ideas on rules, what you'd like to see in the GRA shooting rules, well, please put that in an envelope to me this week, if you would. Again, we're so pleased about being here. Friends, this is only going to work if we get your support. If you can help the shooting show stay on the air, please send whatever you can to the shooting show. 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Beverly, Louisiana. And we need sponsors. We need sponsors for this program. We need sponsors for the network. So please, please do what you can. I want to mention our support group here. We have Steadcraft, a custom machine shop in Torrington, Connecticut. Their number is area 860-496-7001. We have Dennis Crocker, a firearms trainer in South Carolina, authorized to go throughout the state. Dennis is also handling Kramer holsters now. His number is area 864-587-8722. We have Custom Leather Work in Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. They do all kinds of leather work. Their number is area 225-667-9225. We have Camouflage Technologies, the folks that paint gun stocks. Their number is area 909-674-6488. We have Flying Horse Galleries for great artwork on the internet. Their location is www.flyinghorse.net. And we have the Little River Trading Company. They handle Civil War memorabilia, especially Confederate memorabilia. Their number is area 502-522-6167. They're in Cadiz, Kentucky. And BC Armory. Bruce Warren is a very fine pistol smith, works on pistols and revolvers. His number is area 616-729-5508. Friends, we are certainly entering a new broadcast schedule here, and we hope to have our gospel program back on Sundays in the very near future, hopefully as early as 4 or 5 weeks from now. We sincerely hope so. And remember our radio show on the American Freedom Network on from noon to 2 o'clock on Sundays, Eastern Time, that is, SpaceNet 4, Channel 19, 5.82 audio. And please make plans for our Fun Gun Weekend at Clark Custom Guns. It's going to be a great blowout. Going to have a, no pun intended, going to have a fish fry the Saturday night. It's June 5th and 6th, the first weekend in June. We invite everyone who can to come to our Fun Gun Weekend at Clark Custom Guns. Friends, again, thank you so much for being with us today. And we look forward to seeing you on the next shooting show.